there is quite a crowd of Democrats vying for Duncan Hunter's congressional seat and two fellow Republicans challenging the five-term incumbent in California's 50th district. And with us today is one of them, Shamus Sayed, who is CEO of a translation services company. He is Canadian-born, a San Diego local since the age of 2, and thanks for being with us today. And as a businessman, I think you must have a lot of attention and concern about financial issues, tax cuts, reform, and so forth. And let's start with that. What do you think, if elected, you could do in Congress that would have some impact?
Gene, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Gene, the impact that we could have is going to be focused on the small business. Okay. When we look at what's the small business landscape, 80% of San Diego companies are small businesses, and 3/4 of our workforce are employed by small businesses. So the tax reform that we could introduce and regulation saving reform could really help small businesses to bring new jobs, improve health care, amongst two top issues that could really benefit San Diegans.
Now, you are an alumnus of the FBI's Citizens Academy. You're a member of the San Diego Police Department's Captain Advisory Board. Share us your thoughts on public safety, national security. We just had Brian Marvel on, and this is something that is forefront as a real concern among this community.
Yes, it is something I'm very passionate about from a volunteer standpoint. So this is something fun for me to work on, especially hopefully in that official role. Resources. Our first responders, our law enforcement colleagues need more resources to do what they do. They need to help. We need to help them obtain early detection technologies so they can approach approach your national security challenges as well as local challenges.
And of course, you know that the first providers in terms of money are tight-fisted.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, one of the problems that I think you have nodded your head to and say that's what we got to do away from that is partisan gridlock there in Washington and Capitol Hill, the influence of lobbyists, the special interests that are there. It has just been a gridlock that is hard to break.
Yes. In my small business, I have no choice but to get things done on a day-to-day basis. I have employees that need to be fed, paid, contractors, my own family. Now, there's no other place, there's no other venue where I can say, hey, my budget is not done today, and now you, the American people, either are not going to get paid if you work for the federal government, the concept of the government shutdown, and you look at the root of that is the inability to simply reach across and negotiate, compromise. We have objectives that need to be met. I can't do that. Most professionals can't do that on a day-to-day. That's what I hope to bring back to Washington.
Your thoughts about national security, about what's going on overseas in the Middle East, how things with foreign policy are playing out. That has got to be a concern to you if you're going to be elected.
It is. And it goes back to the ability to have more resources here to those individuals that are responding first. To our law enforcement, to our national security individuals here, we need more resources here. We need the early detection technologies to give them, which are going to be primary tools to help combat some of these challenges.
Immigration and the whole DACA thing, how are you going to manage in terms of, okay, you stay, you go, this is how we let this roll out?
Well, DACA is a tough subject here. Yeah. It touches the hearts of many San Diegans and many San Diego families. Our goal is to ensure those individuals that are supposed to be here are here, and they go through the appropriate methods to do it. And those individuals that didn't have a choice, such as these children, it's very tough to punish these individuals for choices that were not theirs. So that is something definitely we will work towards and find a nice resolution for.
Very good. Once again, congressional candidate Shamus Sayed, and thanks for joining us today. We're talking about the 50th district, and you're running against an incumbent with five terms of incumbency. So, and it's going to be a very, very crowded field for you. Thanks for being in today.